The cool spring air blew gently through the streets of St. Andrews. It was the year 2001, and a young man named William was starting his new life at university. He was not an ordinary student. He was Prince William, second in line to the throne of England. But here at university, he wished to be seen simply as William. William wanted a normal life, even if only for a little while. The weight of his family name was heavy, but here, maybe he could just be himself. Across the same campus, a young woman named Kate Middleton was also beginning her studies. Kate came from a loving family and had always been kind, graceful, and full of quiet strength. She did not seek attention. She wanted to study art history and enjoy this new chapter of life. One morning, William walked into a small cafe near the university. He'd like to go there to escape the pressures of royal life. That day, he noticed a girl sitting by the window, reading a book and sipping tea. It was Kate. She looked peaceful and deep in thought. Without really thinking, William found himself glancing at her more than once. There was something calm about her presence. A few days later, in one of his classes, William was surprised to see the same girl from the cafe. She sat 2 rows ahead of him. Fate, it seemed, had given them another chance. At first they were just classmates. They shared polite smiles. Then, through mutual friends, they began to talk more. William admired Kate's honesty and kindness. She was not impressed by his title. She treated him like any other person. It made her stand out. Kate, too, noticed something about William. Though he carried a big name, he was down-to-earth, polite, and sometimes even shy. He laughed easily, and there was a sadness in his eyes that he tried to hide. She wondered about the pressures he must face. Slowly, a friendship formed between them. They started to study together, would walk through the old stone streets, talking about simple things, books, movies, and dreams. William felt relaxed around her more than he had in a long time. Kate, with her warm smile and caring heart, became someone he could trust. One cold evening, a university event brought them together again. Kate wore a simple yet elegant black dress. William, seeing her, felt something shift inside him. She was beautiful, but more than that, she was genuine. Unlike so many others, she did not try to impress him or seek the spotlight. After that night, they grew closer. Friends began to notice. They often shared quiet moments, studying, or simply enjoying each other's company. But it was not easy. Paparazzi had already started to follow William, even at university. When the press learned about Kate, the attention turned to her as well. Cameras, gossip, and headlines came like a storm. Kate handled it with grace. She stayed calm, never speaking to the press, never letting it change her. William admired her even more for that. One afternoon, when the press became too much, William apologized. "I'm sorry you're going through this because of me," he said quietly. Kate looked at him with gentle eyes. "It's not your fault. I knew this could happen. I'm here because I want to be." Those words touched William deeply. He realized then how special Kate was. She was strong, understanding, and not afraid of the life he lived. For the first time, William let himself believe that maybe he could have both duty and happiness. The days passed, and their bond only grew stronger. What had started as a simple meeting between 2 students was turning into something much more. Little did they know, but this was only the beginning of a love story that would touch hearts around the world. After finishing their studies at St. Andrews, William and Kate stepped into a new world. Life at university had been safe, full of simple days and quiet moments. Now, they faced a life where cameras followed their every step. William returned to royal duties, joining the military to train as a search and rescue pilot. Kate returned home and began working in her family's business. The world was watching them now. They still loved each other deeply, but things had changed. They could no longer walk through quiet streets or have long talks in peace. Reporters waited outside Kate's house. Her face appeared in magazines. Strangers followed her, hoping for a photo. William hated this. He had hoped to protect Kate from the harsh light of fame. But now, he saw how heavy this life was for her. Kate tried her best to stay strong. She did not complain. But the pressure was hard. Some friends drifted away, some judged her. Life felt smaller, less free. Then came the hardest test of all. In 2007, after years of love, William and Kate broke up. The news shocked many. Headlines filled the papers. Rumors spread fast, but the truth was simple. The pressures of royal life had become too much. William feared he could not protect Kate. He worried she would suffer too much because of him. And Kate, though heartbroken, understood. For weeks, they lived apart. William threw himself into military life. Kate stayed close to her family and friends. She was deeply sad, but refused to let the world see her pain. She went out with friends, smiling for the cameras. Even when her heart was breaking inside, William missed her more than he could say. The days felt empty. He realized how much she meant to him. No other person had understood him the way Kate did. One day, William spoke to his father, Prince Charles. "I let her go," William said quietly, "because I was afraid for her. But I think I've made the wrong choice." Charles listened carefully. "She's the right person for you," he said. "You will find a way back to each other." Words stayed with William. He began to hope again. Slowly, William and Kate started to speak again, first through simple messages, then phone calls. Both were still careful. They had been hurt. But the love had never gone away. One spring afternoon, William asked Kate to meet him. Away from the cameras, they talked for hours. They spoke honestly about their fears and hopes. "I was trying to protect you," William told her. "But in doing so, I lost you." Kate looked at him, her eyes soft. "I didn't need protecting," she said. "I needed us to face it together." Hearing those words, William knew he did not want to lose her again. He promised that this time, things would be different. From that moment, they slowly rebuilt their relationship. It was not easy. The press still watched closely. But this time, they were stronger. Kate showed even greater grace and strength. She lived her life with dignity, never chasing the spotlight, never speaking to the press. She had learned how to stay calm in the storm, and William admired her even more. He saw now that she was not just the girl he had loved at university. She was a woman of great strength, someone who could stand beside him in any battle. For Kate, the time apart had shown her the depth of her feelings. She loved William not just for who he was, but for the kindness, courage, and honesty in his heart. As the months passed, their love grew deeper. It became a true team, ready to face whatever the future held, and though the world did not yet know it, the hardest test of their love had made them stronger than ever before. The day was cold and bright in November 2010. The news spread. Quickly, Prince William and Kate Middleton were engaged. The world cheered. After years of friendship, love, and struggle, the couple had taken this brave step together, but the road to this moment had not been easy. After university, life had changed quickly. William joined the military. He trained as a helicopter pilot, often working long hours far from home. Kate worked quietly, helping with her family's business and doing charity work. During this time, the media followed their every move. Cameras and reporters watched Kate's life closely. Sometimes the pressure felt too heavy. There were moments of sadness when Kate sat alone, wondering if she could truly handle this life. But her love for William was strong. Each time they were together, each phone call or short visit reminded her why she stayed. William, too, missed her deeply. During long flights and lonely nights, thoughts of Kate brought him comfort. He admired her patience and grace. He knew he had found someone rare, someone who could stand beside him in both the quiet moments and in the storms of royal life. One summer, they took a quiet trip to Kenya. Away from the eyes of the world, they camped under the stars. It was peaceful, simple, just the two of them and nature. One evening, as the sun set over the wide African sky, William took out a small box. His hand shook slightly as he opened it. Inside was his mother's ring, beautiful sapphire surrounded by diamonds. He looked at Kate, his voice full of emotion. "I love you," he said softly. "Will you marry me?" Tears filled Kate's eyes. She smiled, her heart full of love. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I will." It was a private moment, full of meaning. Far from the royal palaces, far from the press. Just love between two people who had faced so much together. When the news became public, the world watched with joy. But there were still challenges ahead. Kate now stood in the full light of the world's gaze. Every word, every step, every smile would be watched and judged. But she remained calm. With William by her side, she felt ready. On the morning of April 29th, 2011, the streets of London were full. Crowds lined the roads, waving flags. People from around the world had come to see. The royal wedding inside Buckingham Palace, Kate stood in her wedding gown. It was beautiful, elegant, simple, and full of grace, just like her. Her family stood proudly nearby. Her mother smiled warmly. Her father's eyes glistened with tears. As she walked down the aisle of Westminster Abbey, the world seemed to hold its breath. William stood at the front, waiting. When he saw her, his face lit up. "You look beautiful," he whispered. The ceremony was grand, but also deeply personal. They exchanged vows with steady voices, their eyes full of love and understanding. When William placed the ring on Kate's finger, it was more than a royal duty. It was a promise of love, of friendship, of facing life's joys and struggles. Together, outside the Abbey, the cheers of the crowd rose like thunder. William and Kate appeared on the balcony of the palace, waving to the people. When they shared their first kiss as husband and wife, the world smiled with them. But for William and Kate, the real joy was in the simple truth. They were together. Over the years that followed, they built a life together. They became parents, welcoming their children with love and care. Together, they faced joy and sadness, light and shadow. Kate took on her new role with strength and kindness. She worked to help others, supported her family, and remained the same. Gentle, honest person William had fallen in love with, and William, through all the duties of royal life, held her close. He never forgot the girl from St. Andrews who had changed his life. Their story showed the world that love can grow through friendship, through trials, through the hardest moments. It was a story of two people who, despite the pressures of the world, had found in each other a partner, a friend, and a love that would last a lifetime. As months passed at St. Andrews, William and Kate's friendship deepened. They spent more time together, walking through the old streets, studying in the quiet corners of the library, or enjoying simple meals with friends. Yet something was changing. The friendship had grown into something warmer, deeper. They both felt it, but neither spoke of it at first. William often looked at Kate when she wasn't watching. He admired her calm nature, her soft laugh, her kindness toward everyone around her. He felt free, as if the weight of the world grew lighter. Kate, too, found her thoughts often drifting to William. Despite the royal blood in his veins, he was gentle, funny, and a good listener. She could see the man behind the prince, someone who carried deep worries, but still found joy in small things. They shared many happy moments. But there were also hard days. The press had begun following their lives more closely. Reporters and photographers waited outside the campus gates, hoping to catch a glimpse of them. Kate found this life difficult. She had always valued her privacy, but she stood strong, never complaining. William noticed this and admired her even more. One cold afternoon, after a long day of classes, William and Kate went for a walk along the beach. The wind was sharp, the sky gray, but the waves were beautiful. They walked in silence at first, the sand crunching beneath their shoes. Finally, William spoke. "I sometimes wonder," he said quietly, "if this life is too hard for you." Kate stopped walking and looked at him. "I knew what it would be like when I met you," she replied, "but it's worth it. You're worth it." William's heart swelled with emotion. For so long he had feared that anyone close to him would run from the life he lived, but Kate was still here. She chose to stay. From that day on, their bond only grew stronger. They spent holidays together, sometimes visiting each other's families. William loved the warmth of Kate's home. Her parents, Michael and Carol, welcomed him not as a prince, but as a young man who loved their daughter. At the same time, Kate met William's family. She saw the world he came from, a life of duty, tradition, and public eyes. But she remained calm and kind, showing the same grace she always had. Yet life was not always easy for them. Rumors filled the newspapers. Headlines spoke of breakups, jealousy, and royal gossip. It was hard to live under such a light. Sometimes Kate would feel the weight of it. She would sit quietly in her room, thinking of the life ahead. But each time she reminded herself why she stayed, because she loved William, and William loved her. He would often send her small notes, or surprise her with simple gifts, of books she liked, a flower picked on a walk. These small acts meant more than grand gestures. They were filled with care. During their final year at university, William took a bold step. He invited Kate to a quiet dinner, away from the eyes of the press. The evening was simple, good food, soft music, just the two of them. Halfway through the meal, William took her hand. "I don't know what the future will bring," he said, "but I know one thing. I want you in it." Kate smiled softly, her eyes shining. "I feel the same," she whispered. It was not yet a proposal, not yet a promise of marriage, but it was a promise of love, a promise to face whatever came together. As graduation approached, they both knew that university life, their little bubble of peace, was ending. Ahead lay the real world, full of challenges, but they were ready, stronger now, together. Their love had grown quiet but deep, and though no one knew it yet, this was the beginning of a love that would stand the test of time.